जो Keithley ਇਹ ਹੈਗਾ ਕੈਂਡੀਡੇਟ ਗ੍ਰੀਨ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਨੇ ਬਰਨਬੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ 2-3 ਹੋਰ ਕੈਂਡੀਡੇਟ ਹੈਗੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਈਸਟ ਵੈਨਕੂਵਰ ਤੇ ਨਾਰਥ ਬਰਨਬੀ ਵਾਲੇ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜੋ ਨੇ ਹੁਣ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ 2-3 ਮਿੰਟ ਕਰਨਾ
ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ. Hi everybody, I'm Joe Keithley. I'm the Green Party candidate in Burnaby Little Heat. I really want to thank them for inviting me down here to speak and for you to listening. I appreciate it very, very much. It's a great experience for me. I want to introduce some of the other Green Party candidates that we have here today. There's Rick McGowan. He's the candidate in Burnaby Deer Lake. And Peter Hallschmidt, he is the candidate in Burnaby North. And Valentine Wu is the candidate in Burnaby Edmonds. So we have the 4 Burnaby candidates here today. And David Wong, who would be, he's here today. He's the candidate in Vancouver Hastings, where the temple is here today. One of the main things about the Green Party that I just want to clarify is that we're really about sustainability of the environment, sustainability of life, and that leads to prosperity and wealth for families. So we're like I'm a family-oriented guy. I think that's the most important thing in my life. I grew up in Burnaby. I'm married. I have 3 kids. All grew up in Burnaby, and I know that one of the main things that we work for in our lives is sustainability and health of our family and happiness to all of us. So that's a great thing. And Bim has told me that's like basic kind of tenets of tolerance within the Sikh religion, so that sounds like it fits together in that sense. If elected, our leader is Andrew Weaver. He's a really thoughtful guy. He has a PhD. He's a climatologist, and he knows his stuff, and he's an honest politician. One of the things we would do in politics, if elected here in BC, would be to clean up the corruption from the donation scandals that you've seen the BC Liberals and the NDP involved in, where money is going illegally, being donated illegally, and then by powerful people. And then once that party is elected, whoever it may be, if they are elected, then those companies or people or unions get favors back from the government. The Green Party of BC, we do not take donations from unions or corporations since last September. The big thing here, folks, is that we want your vote, my vote, everybody's vote to count. And that is real democracy. And that's like really one thing that I carry very close to my heart that I've worked on for the last 40 years since I was a teenager growing up in Burnaby North and going to Burnaby North High School. The other thing, obviously, we would do would be protect our environment. We think if we sustain the environment will take care of us and will make us wealthy and prosperous here in British Columbia. One thing we would do with the Green Party, we would fight to stop the Kinder Morgan pipeline expansion. We think it is a wrong-headed move by the government. It would provide very little jobs, and it will basically just be a big tax break for a giant oil corporation from Texas, and we don't think we should. We think the money we have here should be going to our schools, to our kids, and to families in BC, rather than giant corporations in the way of tax breaks. One of the things we just introduced in the Green Party is free daycare for kids up to 3 years old. The government will pay for daycare for all the way up to the first 3 years of your children's life. And then after that, at ages 3 and 4, then we will provide part of the education system will be like a preschool. So another 2 years of kindergarten, your children can go there. And if they choose not to, if you want to keep your children at home, if you have a stay-at-home parent, the government would provide $500 a month for each of those kids. So that way you can make a choice. They can go to preschool, you can work, or you can stay at home and not suffer economic consequences. We would help you out with that. We think it's the fair thing to do. The big thing about the BC Green Party is that we're not a right-wing party, we're not a left-wing party, like the Liberals and the NDP. We're a party that's right in the middle. I mean, we care about the environment, that's a big part of what we are, but we just try and employ some common sense. One of the things we really do, my biggest thing really is education. The K-12 school system has been starved of money for 30 years by NDP and BC Liberal governments. We think the most important thing we can do is put an emphasis on our kids and on learning. So we have a great school system here in British Columbia, but it's being stretched oh so thin. So we need to help our great set of teachers here, and we do have a great set of teachers in British Columbia, by providing them with ESL teachers, special needs teachers. And the other thing we would do too, we would also provide money for adults that want to go back to school and enhance their training, take courses. And rather than, as the BC Liberals have done, charge you a lot of money for each of these courses, we would subsidize these courses because we think, an educated population is a wealthy population and a happy population at the same time. That people, if they have good education, they're going to do a lot better in life. Another big area is post-secondary education. We think this is super, super important. The thing is, what we're trying to do is to lower tuition fees and also take the interest off of student loans, work towards that, as we can afford it. Because if we think about now the jobs we have in society, 40% of the jobs we have now, in 20 years are going to be gone through automation, through new technology. So the best investment we can make is within our kids' K-12 system, school system, and also post-secondary. In that way, if we have a really bright bunch of young people that get a great education and it's affordable for all, you know what? Those people will be working, and that way we can keep hospitals open, schools open, and all the services that we depend on, and services for seniors, all these really important things within our society. And this is like the kind of the common sense approach that we're talking about with the BC Green Party. The other thing is that, one of the things that we really believe in as Canadians, I think it's important to emphasize, is one of the things that makes Canada a great, great place is tolerance for all people of all religions and everybody here. And this is why I love being a Canadian. And one of the things I fight for is that we have to look after everybody. It's our duty as Canadians to help all people within our country. I think that's a really important premise that it's a big part of the Green Party, right? So, and part of what I feel in my heart. Anyway, so I'm not going to talk too long here, but I really want to thank you for listening. And if you get a chance, we'll be down in the kitchen. Our Green Party candidates from Burnaby and Hastings East, Vancouver Hastings, pardon me, David Wong, will be down there. And I really want to thank the temple for having me here and for arrangements. Thank you, everybody.